If you've been watching our show for any length of time, you probably know the name Aaron Clippinger and his company, SquareCoil. Now, SquareCoil is a management software that we implemented a year and a half ago. And we thought we were doing pretty good as far as the company goes, but you know, we always thought there could be a better, more efficient way to increase our productivity and our workflow and eventually our profits.
Yeah, right. And what attracted us to SquareCoil was the fact that it was developed by a guy who was basically born into the sign industry.
Yeah.
You know, his dad had a business, and so from the time he was a kid, he's worked in the sign industry, and now he runs the company himself.
And that makes a huge difference. With the purchase of the software came a 3-day boot camp to learn how to use it. And man, there was a lot to learn. And when we started using SquareCoil, it was a punch in the throat to find out everything that we were doing wrong.
There was a ton of stuff that we learned, and we changed the way we do our day-to-day operations at the company. But after a year and a half, we still were thinking maybe we weren't utilizing the program as much as we should.
Yep, exactly. So we contacted Aaron, and we found out that he offers a 2-day SquareCoil Re-Boot Camp. And for Media One, that starts today.
What we've done is we've tried to organize our shop to be one flow, one organizational tool at a time. So no matter what goes through our shop, whether it's a wrap, whether it's a channel letters, whether it's a monument sign, we only have one organizational chart that flows all the way through. And so that's what I want to work with you guys. Now, I've already taught you guys the software, so I don't need to worry about you guys knowing, where to click and how to click. My biggest thing at this point in time is, what are you guys using, what are you not using? It's a fact-finding mission. I need to figure out what they're using in the software, what they're not utilizing in the software, and so I can figure out how to give them shortcuts. Here, I'm gonna tell you right now, the hardest part, the biggest pain point we see in every sign company, getting the survey from the installers back to the project manager. We actually bought the big giant metal 11x17 folder tablet thingies. They're massive, they're heavy, and they suck. None of the installers like them. So as soon as we hand it to them, like, survey, take it back. And it actually makes that boomerang work really well, so the PMs actually get the surveys back. But if we give them just a piece of paper, it's lost in the truck. Never gets back. It's just a pain point that sign companies have. One of the biggest things is they use about 50 to 60% of the software. They figure out it's a great tool, and they go, great, this is awesome, they move on. They don't know what they don't know. Pain points. I'm gonna switch gears a little bit. Pain points. Guys on the floor, what information are you not getting to make your guys' life easier? The first time we come out here, the 3-day immersion clinic, is just teaching you the basics, teaching you how to drive the software, how to organize, and how to clean it up. From there, in all honesty, we should come back out 6 months or a year later for secondary training. In that secondary training, when they ask, what's the roadmap for it? What are we gonna be learning? And the answer is, I don't know, because you're a custom company. We really don't know what you've learned and what you haven't learned and how it's gonna apply to you guys. So we're an open slate when we show up, and we do that first Q&A session for the first 30 minutes, 45 minutes, and go, are you using this? Are you using this? Are you using this? And so they start to say no. Now we know where our pain points are. Now we're gonna start to teach that. And so they really can utilize 100% of the system. That's really the order of that. The sales guy should review that first, project manager should second review that, and then the guys on the floor should catch it. So when it gets to you guys on the floor, we've had 2 people fail, in all honesty. I hate to say it, but it's true. So we gotta work on that and getting it kind of cleaned up on that aspect. So that's it for right now, guys. Thank you, appreciate it. Well, that was very productive. We just found out that they're not doing the time cards correctly. They're definitely not entering any materials. If they're not doing that correctly, then we don't have any costing. We have no information to get back. So first thing I had to do is talk to Dale and Rick and say, we got to get our correct costing done. Number 2, I'm finding out that Dale's doing an open orders report, and the open orders report taking him 3 hours once a week. That's a click of a button inside the system if they have the information. So at this point in time, just a little bit of tweaking, a little bit of education, and we're already saving this company a lot of time.
After that first brief company-wide meeting, everyone went back to work in the shop. Then we had our normal Monday morning production meeting, where we plan out all of the jobs we have to work on in the coming week. We invited Aaron to sit in to see how well this Media One machine is running. Apparently, it doesn't run as well as we thought.
I just had to walk out of that production meeting because I couldn't handle it. They have all their projects on the screen. And Dale decided to spend 3 hours building this sheet. He tells me it takes him over 3 hours to build this piece of paper, and they're all working on a piece of paper. Then one of the guys want to show him a picture and pulls up their phone and shows them the picture. It's in the gigantic screen right behind them. It's like they have this beautiful Ferrari. They walk around the Ferrari, they love it, they kiss on it, and then you know what they do? They shut the door and they walk home. It's get in the car, drive. So I had to walk away from the meeting because I'm going to lose my mind. So let's let them finish, and then we're going to really dial them into what they should be doing. Wow, I'm not going to lie. Why are you doing this on paper? Like, honestly, I'm shocked right now. I'm going to get a keyboard. I'm going to hook my computer up to this TV, and I will show you guys how to do this meeting in 5 minutes. And Dale doesn't need to spend 3 hours building this. Like, this system does this for you. I'm happy I'm here, so I don't want to waste your guys' time like this anymore. There's going to be a lot of training in the next couple hours here, but we're solving this immediately. We're going to work on a computer. We're going to get a keyboard in here. We're going to have this meeting again. I'm going to show you guys how to do it a lot more effectively.
You know, Dale, you have to admit, once Aaron showed us how to run our Monday morning production meetings on SquareCoil and not paper, it went incredibly smoother.
Yeah, man. We've been using that paper forever, and it totally was better. And I told you we were going to be able to use that big TV in our conference room someday.
Here I am in the meeting showing pictures on my phone when all this time I could have been putting them on SquareCoil. We could all saw it right there on the computer at the same time. It's going to take a little learning, but we're going to get it down packed.
That meeting went a lot better than I thought it was going to do. I was shocked at how much there was overlap. Sales was putting their nose in project management. Project management was overlapping into sales. They were kind of the Keystone Cops in a lot of ways. And I feel bad saying that, but it's the truth. Now we actually know where everyone starts and stops, and now they have a clear path to success. So I'm very happy with that. Now we need to clean up the system. There were some bad habits that they did that we're going to clean up. Once the bad habits are done, then we're going to be able to really start to ramp up and move forward at a faster pace.
So just in that one meeting alone, Aaron really demonstrated how we need to be structuring our production flow. Because 3 weeks ago, we promoted a couple of guys, Tim and JT, to join PK and being a project manager for our company.
Now, that's pretty huge, because all these years, you and I have been the only project managers doing everything that we need project managers to do. So maybe now you'll be able to catch up to me in sales.
I'm going to get you next month, man.
The first step I want you guys to do as soon as you're assigned a task. So Dale is every single new project ready for processing. Your responsibility when you see a ready for processing task is to assign a project manager to it. One of these three.
Yep.
And then send a task to that PM saying this is yours. The good news is if they've only been doing it for 3 weeks, they don't have a track record.
Right.
We don't have to break old habits.
Nope.
So I'm happy about that. I'm excited about that.
Good.
Well, let's go ahead and get them back in the conference room. Let's talk about starts and stops for each employee.
Yeah, whatever you think. This is what this is about, you know, the organization of something that we're not doing right because we're entrenched in this day-to-day operations of this business, you know, and you come in from the outside and you're looking out here and you know what's going on, and we're just so used to it because that's what we've been doing. We're looking for you to, you know, say, hey, this could be better this way because we know it can. We just don't know the right path to follow.
And they're not the only ones. Most sign companies, when I say majority, I'm thinking 50 to 60% of the sign companies, they have their sales reps also do all their project management. They're literally tying their sales reps behind their back and burying them in paperwork. To bring project managers onto a company such as this, it's going to make it so the sales reps can do what they do best, which is sell, and somebody else handle all the details. When you sell a project, it is your job to process it. So when you go to shop order and hit the green button, ready for processing, it's your job to process it. And then when you do that, you need to tell the system which design you sold, which proposal you sold, and which estimates you're using. As soon as you launch that project, Dale's going to assign one of these project managers to it. And they're going to be responsible for that project from here on out. You're done. As soon as you process that order, you're done. Because your job is to sell. Plain simple. We need more work coming in the front door at all times. So the more we free you up of paperwork, the better off you can be. And frankly, I want these gentlemen looking at all those details because if you're doing sales, your brain's somewhere else anyway. You know, I've done sales for 20 years. You can't focus on the details and do sales. It's never going to happen. Right now, you guys have a bottleneck in survey because no one's paying attention to push the projects along inside the system.
So it just gets stopped there.
Yeah, it just gets stopped there. So now that we have eyes and ears on that and we're pushing the projects through, we can see where every project's dying on the vine, so to speak, and where it needs love. The design and the estimate need to match the scope of work before we're allowed to process that order. That right there might save you guys quite a bit of time just on that thought process. Okay.
How you doing?
Wonderful.
You are?
That's hot.
Don't touch it?
Don't touch.
I touch everything.
If ownership's not on board to learn and to change, I shouldn't even be here. Because they're already a dinosaur and their company's going to go under in the next couple of years anyway. You have to learn, you have to change. You know, Dale, yes, he likes to be involved with everything, but for him to really grow his company, he has to let some of that responsibility go. And as soon as he lets it go over the next month, you're actually going to watch him that grip that he had, that tight grip, doesn't need to be. and he's going to be a whole lot better at being the visionary and leading his company versus getting mired in the details so he feels busy. You think you're going to be able to step back and be more of a visionary for the company?
I mean, I've been trying to do that for years, but you know, I get sucked back in. I don't know. Maybe it's me. I don't know, because yeah, I want to be involved. Obviously, it's my clients, you know, my sales, my type of thing. So I want to be involved and make sure that these things go like they're supposed to. But it's so much now that I'm doing exactly the opposite of what I should be doing, because my sales are going backwards because I'm not able to service all my clients at how they should be, as well as getting all this other ancillary stuff going. So if I could clear my plate of these guys following up with that, it's going to make me sell so much better, right?
Yes.
I have to, right?
Yes, yep, 100%. 100%. Leap of faith, trust your team, because I think that's going to change. It's going to change everything about how you're running your organization. Not to mention, your clients are going to love you for this.
Yeah.
They're going to love you because you're going to spend more time with them and they're going to get a better product.
Right.
I'm gonna really like SquareCoil because I'm a detail person, and this thing's all about details. It's gonna hold people accountable for what they're doing. It's gonna time and track where they're at, and that's what I like, because we are all gonna be held accountable for what we have to do, which is what this company needs.
One of the most critical things is everybody has to buy into it, because it's so much easier for me to say, I can go up, find a job if I need to buy materials or whatnot. I can actually click on it, order the materials. I don't have to get up and go find Dom or Steve, anybody like that to order materials. I just click it, send them a task, and boom, it's done. It makes it so much more fluent and easy. And then there's documentation of everything you do.
You have to empower your employees. You have to empower your team to do the job correctly. If you just say, if you make them busy bees, worker bees, and go do this and come back, do this and come back, do this and come back, guess what? They're not learning, they're not really helping, and all you're doing is getting 5 minutes of freedom, because you had to explain it to them, they went off and did it, and then you have to review it. You might as well just done it yourself. If you're gonna do it yourself, now you're a one-man band. It's not worth anything to you. You have to empower and train your employees. You have to make sure they know exactly what you expect out of them, and then you have to do the hardest thing possible. You have to trust them.
I know you told Aaron you're going to be able to step back, but are you really going to be able to?
I mean, I guess I have to. You know, this is a new plan in place, and it's really exciting because with SquareCoil in here at this level, it's really showing us that we're just scratching the surface of the potential of our company. Right. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, subscribe, leave a comment for us, and if you want to know more about SquareCoil, hit the link below and check it out.